guys.
Okay, here's...
Come on, Twitch. Come on. Come on, Twitch. I want to see my stream. Okay, there's my stream. Hey, can you guys hear me? Just making sure. Can you guys hear me? Come on, chat. I need your feedback. Come on. Come on now. Come on. Come on, guys. I need your feedback. I need your feedback. Come on. Oh, I'm seeing that feedback. Okay, guys. Okay, so we did meet the donation incentive, which was to, for a team name, and I chose, and you guys are going to be getting Frankerzy as your team name. Oops, that's not how I'm supposed to do it. Hard mode, we gotta make sure that is, because that is my category. Hold on. There you go, boys. There's your team name. If you guys want to screenshot it now, go ahead and screenshot it. This is probably the only time you're going to see this name. Okay, moving on. Save game data? We're not going to be saving game data. Okay. Hello, guys. No, I should introduce myself. My name's Qaotik, and and you're going to be seeing me complete hard mode all Grand Prix in this game. And before I start, I would like to ruin your childhood. Take a look at these graphics, really good. Take it in. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just ruined y'all's childhood. Enjoy those graphics. I will explain that here in a moment. Hey guys, be prepared to start the time, okay? Okay guys, starting countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. Yeah, my name's Qaotik, and you guys are going to be witnessing hard mode all Grand Prix. I'm the creator of this category, and I also happen to own the world records for each IL in this game. So what you're going to be... So, for each... There's a total of 6 Grand Prix in this game, each of which are about 4 races long. And with each Grand Prix, there's always going to be something... a little different. Like, for the sake of this Grand Prix, what's going to be happening is, I'm sorry, I have to concentrate. For this Grand Prix, we're just going to be driving the most basic vehicles. Which is supposed to be just... yeah, just vehicles. Later on, we'll be getting a more powerful variant of the vehicle we're already driving. Oh yeah, please ignore the white shadows. No, well, I should point that out. So the reason why I changed the graphics to be worse is because it's clear that I'm running the PCSX2 emulator. And the reason why I'm using emulator is because, number one, I don't have a PS2. It's more convenient for me to use PC, so hashtag PC Master Race. And secondly, there is no benefit to using an emulator for this game. If anything, the game will actually be slower. And not only that, I get to use a better controller, because the DualShock 2 controllers are not that good, to be honest. They were good for the time, but DualShock 4, that's where it's at. It's really tasty. But so, to clarify what car I'm using, there are a total of at least 7 cars in this game, and the car I'm using is the Himmel EO. What makes this car... the reason why I'm using this car is that, it has the highest speed and acceleration, but at the cost of, overall inferior handling. Like, part of the handling is that not only does it not go through turns very well, but when you drift, unlike most drift games, all you have to do is release the gas and then press back on the accelerator in order to do a drift. And the two different drift types in this game are drift and grip. Drift, what happens is that you're allowed to maintain more speed during the drift, but at the cost of handling. And the only car that can be comparable to the Himmel EO is the Solar, or the Solar. But what makes that vehicle very inferior is that the acceleration is very slow, so you're most likely not going to get to top speed. And trying to maneuver around a bunch of cars in the game just makes it really hard to even utilize its good mobility. So basically you have to use a car with worse handling to even be really good. And what else is there?
Three, two,
But just to point out, what you guys are going to notice for each race is that that all the tracks in this game are a variation off each other, or just a branch. Oh, I did not want to do that. That is a few seconds lost. That is something to avoid doing. Unfortunately, for some reason in this game, interesting fact, you can select the time of day in each course. You can have a daytime, an evening, or a nighttime setting. But some courses you can only select, say, evening and night or night and day. For some reason, the last course in this Grand Prix will, for every race, it will only select the evening, even though there's a night setting. So the only way to select the night setting is if you went to time attack, which makes me wonder why in the world would they have it in the first place. Jeez, I gotta stop hitting walls. No, I should have probably done is for every wall I hit, I should probably donate $1. But that's going to be a lot of walls. Possibly a lot of walls, so, and my wallet's probably going to hate me if I did that. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and answer them in the chat, because I can read them. But for right now, you're not going to see any more strats. Most of this game is basically just driving really well to get into first place. That's pretty much all. That's pretty much all it is. Also, for for the staff, if at any moment you guys feel like you want to, give me a donation. Or read me a donation, then you guys can do that. Because for right now, there's not going to be too much. But yeah, chat, you guys can go ahead and talk to me. Ask any questions if you have any about this game. This game was actually a launch title for the PlayStation 2 in around 2000, and I believe the arcade version of this game came out in 1999, which was about just a couple of years after I was born. I really would like, I would really like to read that message. But that was one hard message to read. Remember, kids, don't text and drive. There's my lesson of the day for you guys. Even though I'm reading chat and playing this at the same time, you should not replicate that while you're actually driving. Remember, it might be fun to do that in a video game, but not on the track. Do your part and don't text and drive. This is brought to you by Themeathon 80s Marathon. Oh, this franchise got so stale. Yeah, I kinda sort of feel you. It's not exactly stale, but they haven't really done anything new to the franchise. And the sad thing is that they didn't introduce a new game until, like for the next generation of consoles, like the Xbox One and the PS4. Which is very unfortunate. The most recent game they had was Driftopia, I believe, for the Apple Store. I have no idea why in the world they would want to do that. But they did. And the last game they did, Unbounded, that was more like a Burnout clone. I personally had fun with the game, but yeah, come on. Come on, Namco. Yeah, speaking of which, Namco, the same company that brought to you by, get out of the way, car. Somebody's scooting on past you. That brought to you by Pac-Man and Galaga, and some other games, I don't know. Brought you Ridge Racer. This is actually one of my favorite Ridge Racer games, or yeah, well, not is this one of my favorite Ridge Racer titles of all time. It's actually one of my favorite racing series. Hence why I like to play it. And hence why I actually went for ILs in this game. And the people that actually got me, or that I found that were doing ILs for this game were found on the website called Rolling Start. So shoutouts to those guys. I recommend going to rollingstart.com. Hope you guys don't mind me giving them a shout out. Because they do. I'm giving them some good representation. This game should deserve some love. Do you like the Angel or the Devil? That's a good question. Those are both really good cars. I can't say which one I like more. I actually like them both equally, because they both do unique things. Like in this game, the Devil car, it's really fast, and, well, all the cars are fast, but its drifting is just really fun, and it just has explosive acceleration. And the sound as well, and the looks, it reminds you a lot of a Le Mans car, like from the 1900s, or the 1990s. No, 1900s. The 1990s. But the Angel, I like the Angel because it doesn't drift at all, it just seems very, like a very streamlined car. And there's actually a fun fact in this game. For the Angel, they list the top speed as 368 miles per hour. Why they labeled that, I have no idea. Because that speed is not achievable in this game. There is no road long enough to be able to do that. It could have possibly been a typo, but if you were to do 100 miles per hour less, you would still be going above that said speed. So, I have no idea. Steam-powered. Yeah, steam-powered cars, man. Man, guys, we need that technology. We need the steam-powered cars. We gotta stop polluting our earth. You know, I don't always drive a diesel engine, but when I do it next to a Prius, so they can hear me kill the atmosphere. Oh, shoutouts to Frankerzy. If you guys want to see the team name really often, because you're not going to see it a whole lot when I'm spamming through the scenes, but, yeah, look at the bottom left corner when I, pass through a, section marker, I don't know what they call them, or checkpoint, I would say, and you'll see your team name, so Frankerzy hype right now. The 7th gear. There's actually another interesting thing. So, for the ILs that I run, you'll see later, the later car you'll see in the game is an upgraded version. And one of the last Grand Prix is actually going to be, you race on an oval track. And, when you beat that, you actually get an oval, what's called the oval engine, which neuters your speed in an attempt to just boost up the acceleration and the top speed. For the ILs that I ran, with the extra class cars, we use the oval engine, but there are only 2 cars that are actually viable with it. In the car we use, there happens to only be 4 gears, and since you're never going to be reaching top speed, we always hit 3rd gear, which is a lot better. And that was something I discovered on my own. It allowed me to crush my records even further, so that's to solidify my position on the leaderboards. Oh, no, Frankerzy. Not That's not epic. Okay, this is the last race for the Fountain GP, which is the first GP, and the only one where you'll see the standard classic cars. Standard classic cars are just basically there to, like, as a form of tutorial, per se. Oh yeah, the drifting physics are amazing in this game, so you know what? That was not a good idea. That was very bad. But don't worry, this is a speedrun. I meant to do that. We're still gonna win, boys. I have time to do that. You guys are probably not going to see that again, because in later races, that will probably cause me to lose. Because remember, we're doing this on hard mode, and I'm gonna go ahead and just destroy y'all's childhood, where you've probably thrown a controller because you can't beat a specific race. All of it will be done in one try. Which is pretty much what the record is that I have won every single race without a single retry. And retries in this game will definitely cost you a lot of time, like minutes. So if you would restart, you might as well just reset the run. Man, people say that you need a game to be realistic to have fun. This game says otherwise. Yeah, the dude in the chat, the other cars will not corner at all. There are only two, which are the Kamata Fortune and then the Denver Toreador. And the Fortune uses a grip type of drift, so you're losing speed during the drift. And it uses more gears, so like if you want to maximize speed, you would have to be constantly flipping through the gears. The Toreador, it uses a drift type, and it's 4 gears, so we use that for ILs. We could do a standard and in special class vehicles, but there's not a lot of people to run them, so we just sort of ignore them. Which is sad, because if you guys like this run and want to see more, I recommend getting into this game and getting some hype for it. See, I might have screwed up that turn. Hey, you guys were so entertained, even though I did a stunt in that turn on lap 2. Or was, yeah, I think it was lap 2. Yeah, it was, no, lap 1. What am I saying? I'm on lap 2. I'm stupid. Yeah, even though I did that, we're still ahead. Bayside line. This is probably one of my favorite courses, and also one of my least favorite. It's my favorite because you get a very good view of the city. It's my least favorite because there are some broken turns like this one, where sometimes the game will think you're parallel to the road, and it'll make you leave for drift. And for ILs, that is really hard because you can't turn very well. And I found myself hitting walls a lot. And hitting a wall in this game, it's similar to that of the Wipeout series, where hitting a wall will cause you to lose a chunk of your speed, instead of just gradually losing it.
Wow, great cornering.
This course in reverse mode. Fortunately, this course is seen only 3 times throughout the hard mode. Or throughout all the Grand Prix, and thankfully it's not in the Duke Grand Prix, which is a set of reverse races. Shout out to Franker Z on the bottom left corner, man. Oh, there goes my phone. No, too late. I'm in a marathon. Sorry, Sony, PlayStation. I do not care. that Destiny 2 is having a pre-order weapon. I care more about saving the children at this moment. Look at that, 11 seconds ahead, shouts to Franker Z. 11 seconds ahead, even with that performance. Like, this is, I mean, this is some top-notch racing right here. Okay, we're about to complete the first Grand Prix. Oh, the first of 6. That was a terrible mistake. I did not want to put that low.
Finish line is just up ahead. It's
Yeah.
the final stretch.
Yeah, thank you, Lordmau5. I appreciate, the good luck, the GLs. Okay, there's our first Grand Prix. Now we're going to move on to the extra classic cars. Oh yeah, appreciate those graphics. Those are some sick graphics.
Congratulations.
Trophy, ignore that. Saving? We're not going to save. This is a speedrun. Oh yeah, look how fast I'm going to spam right through this.
Okay, here's the late. This is your new. You've got
Did you catch that?
Grand Prix. Break away from the pack.
Okay, for the extra class, or yeah, the extra set of Grand Prix, there's going to be at least 4. And each of them we're going to, of course, do different things. For this one, you're going to see, it's sort of like the Fountain GP, which was just sort of to get used to the cars. This is sort of the same thing, but with the extra class. But thankfully, in this game, now you guys are going to see something a little more interesting. So for some reason, the developers thought... I'll explain that. I'll explain this glitch later. But the developers, for some reason, thought it was a very good idea to not introduce slipstreaming until the extra class. So what you're going to see me do is get behind a lot of racers, and I'm going to slingshot myself to first place. And it's actually very powerful in this game. In comparison to Gran Turismo 4, slipstreaming in this game is pretty, it's kind of broken. It's very powerful. Just very, very strong. But anyway, so I want to explain this glitch, what just happened. So the music, if you guys are paying attention, the music in the background is that of the last race. For some reason, when you spam right through the scene to select the track and have an overview of the track, the game with the course itself, if you spam right through it fast enough, the game will not have a time to set it to use its preset. So you're just going to end up like skipping it, and it'll use the track from the previous race. Why it does that? Wait, instead of just using the set track immediately, that's kind of weird. Oh yeah, first place, first lap. Oh yeah, that's very strange. Shout out to Franker Z, by the way. Well, yeah, that's a really weird glitch, and I actually found that out during my first run of this game. So you're probably going to end up getting used to hearing the same tunes. Don't hit the wall, don't hit the wall. I hit the wall. I might have hit that harder than that one singer. I don't want to name him, but he was with Rihanna. And I just hit the ball harder than that dude. Shout out to Franker Z again. Yeah, I feel bad for the other guy that donated because it was a tie and I had the choice of Franker Z or Monka S. So I will give you that, whoever donated for Monka S. Oh, I should have... Oh my goodness, I know what I should have done. Before the race, I should have done that as the name so I could have given it... Jeez, I am... Oh my gosh, I feel so stupid now. I am sorry for whoever donated. I am very sorry, I apologize. That is my B. Please hold that B for me. I'll get that wall.
Finish line is just up ahead. It's the final
are about to complete our first race. We'll complete the first race!
There goes the winner! What an incredible race!
An interesting thing about this game is the loading screens. Like, the loading screen is always going to be the same amount of time for, between, like, from loading the track preset to the actual race itself, or, like, from the end of the race to the track preset. It's always going to be the same, so I always, and because the loading screen has that little effect, I actually have, like, a good indicator as to when the race is going to start. So sometimes I'll just take a 6-second nap, and then after 6 seconds I'll start spamming the start button to skip any of the cutscenes. Ow. This is debatably one of my least favorite. Okay, you know what? I said Bayside Line was one of my least favorite tracks. No, this is actually probably my least favorite track because of those turns. Because the game thinks that that hairpin back there, the game thinks that that strip of road is like just one big parallel, and the game will make you leave the drift if you're parallel to the road. But sometimes you'll end up leaving the road, exiting the drift, like sooner than you should. So a lot of times I'll hit the wall, and it's not very epic. It's not epic. Can you? Thank you, AI. Yeah, thank you for doing that for me. The AI is actually pretty smart in this game. Matter of fact, for the duel mode where you're racing the devil, the AI is specifically designed where if you're slipstreaming, it will purposely use its brakes to make you go to a complete stop by making you ram into the rear end of it. Ow. Ow. Drift. Make the turn. Yeah, and this turn as well is pretty weird. Sometimes you won't even enter a drift, even if you let go of the gas at a good speed. No idea why. Speed sleeping? Yeah, pretty much. No, I call it power sleeping. That's the correct term for it. Breaker's Eve, man. Breaker's Eve. Smart AI in a game? Hey, at least this AI is smarter than that of Project Cars. Like, you have to admit that. Let's make this turn nice and clean. I made it nice and clean.
Wow, great cornering.
Look at all the pretty colors. Oh, that's nice using software renderer to get these graphics. Oh, there's a message. I'm going to have to read that when this race finishes, man. That's a long message.
The finish line is just up ahead. It's the final stretch.
Okay, let me read that.
Finish! There goes the winner. What an incredible
Yeah, I have. Matter of fact, on Rolling Start, I think I said this. On RollingStart.com, I have all the IL records for the Oval Engine. Did you? Hey, whoever said Ubisoft is a good company? Yeah, yeah, they're really nice. I like that they downgrade my games for me. They're really good at that. they're really good at showing off really beautiful graphics, only to find out they look like Play-Doh on a little setting when the game comes out. Some of the games are fun though, but come on, Ubisoft. Hey, excuse me, can I skedaddle and past you? No? Okay. Just kidding, I'm getting past. What? I can't see you. You're to my left. Oh man, admire those graphics. Man, you have to admire these graphics. The only problem, the only issue with the graphics in this game is the anti-aliasing. Like you get a lot of those jaggies, those very disgusting jaggies. If they had released a later version with it, that would be nice. It's tolerable, but yeah, they could have done better. But the graphics are actually pretty impressive in this game. As a matter of fact, the wheel wells, or like the rims, are not just like a 2D texture. It's actually a 3D model.
Check him out. Let her in.
Can you get out of my way? Can you please not take up the road? I know you have a huge rear end that looks like that of a bus, but you can't be hogging up the road, man. Oh no, that's not good. Oh! I almost made that turn. Oh man, so many beautiful messages. The problem is I can't read any of it. Like, I mean, this game's a little too fast. Don't worry, guys. If you guys like to see more racing games, tomorrow, about 24 hours from now, you're going to see me running another childhood favorite, which is Hot Wheels Velocity X. I hope you guys enjoy that, or come to see that. Yeah, thank you for getting my way. Yeah, do that again. Do it again. I dare you. Of course you're not going to do it.
Whether they're seasoned pros or rookies, their goal is the same. It's to win the race. Win or lose, they all deserve our support.
Hey guys, I would like you guys to do me a favor. Come on, chat. I need your amazing chat abilities to do this. Every time you see Franker Z, I want to see the hype in the chat for Franker Z. Can you guys do that for me? Come on, I believe in you guys. Your chat, after all. Twitch chat can do anything. Oh my gosh, I gotta stop paying attention. I gotta stop paying attention to the Twitch chat. I need to play the game. Playthrough. This is more like a casual, fast playthrough. I'll give it the nickname casual percent. Fast casual percent. Alright, on this Grand Prix, for the next two Grand Prix, the last race, you're going to be introduced to a new course, so at least you're going to get some variety. Hey, thanks, dude, for the hype. I'm just going to point out, dude, whoever's name is white, the thing is my theme is using a white setting, so I can barely read your name. I know it starts with the letter A, but I can't tell who you are. I'm sorry. Your name's pretty hard to read.
Wow, great cornering.
Hey chat, if you guys enjoy the Ridge Racer series, I would like to hear y'all's favorite game in the series. Because my favorite games are either... Oh, hey, yeah, thank you, dude, for giving me your name. Shouts to you for helping me get this thing set up. That was really helpful. Well, yeah, chat, I would like to hear y'all's favorite game in the series if you happen to play it. Because my personal favorite is Ridge Racer 5 and Ridge Racer 7, and also 6. Like 5 through 6 are my favorite.
3, 2, 1, go! And they're off. The cars are streaming past the starting line. 3 laps to go.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned, for the Grand Prix, what I have to do is that I have to get, like, the positions I need to be in for each race change. So like, as the Grand Prix progresses, like, the minimum would be 4th place all the way to 1st, where the last position, or last race, I need to be in position 1. But because of the speedrun, I'm always going to be in 1st place unless I dork up. But that shouldn't happen. Hey yo, hey Toreador, you got stick it, flip it, and see you later, bye.
Wow, great quartering.
Oh yeah, the first thing I should mention that this is the track Sunny Beach. It's actually a staple within almost every single Ridge Racer. Starting from the very first game, back in 1992 for the arcade. Okay, one more lap and then we're going to be moving on to the other GP thingy. I forgot the name of it. Oh, I know what I forgot to mention. So, the reason why I'm running hard mode, well, number one, it's going to be impressive. I mean, it's hard mode. I mean, I'm 11 seconds, about 11 seconds ahead of second place because of my driving. And secondly, and the difference between hard mode and the other modes is that you're actually given an extra Grand Prix, which is called Maximum Grand Prix. And so it would make sense to do that because you're getting the true experience. The true experience.
Finish! There goes the winner! What an incredible race! Congratulations!
We're not going to be saving. Okay, that's the second Grand Prix. We're moving on to the third.
Okay, this is your new car.
Sorry, game. I would like to. I would like to see that cutscene, but this is speedrun. Tornado Grand Prix, that's what it's called. Well, I see in chat, you guys are asking about the one dude talking about the aspect ratio. For information, the aspect ratio is 16:9. Okay, from the Tornado Grand Prix, I'm going to need some level of focus because for each race I have to win first place, otherwise I can't advance. And the only other Grand Prix to do that is Maximum Grand Prix. Timer Grand Prix does not count because it's only one race. Oh yeah, this will also be the last time you'll see Bayside Line in the rotation. Ow. Okay, okay, Themeathon staff, if, I need to focus a little. Guys, I need to focus a little bit. I will still probably look at your chat, but if you, if there's an opportunity, you guys can read off some donations. Ah, that's not good. Don't worry, it's still first lap. Just look how powerful this slipstream is. See, look at that. Look at that. I just made that position that quickly. That's how good it is. But yeah, if there's any donations, just let me hear them. Please. The game. It could possibly be the game because I'm using the emulator. An emulator to run this. Or who knows, it could be your end, because on my end it looks perfectly fine. Ever donations? It feels bad, man. Yeah, it feels bad. Oh, that's so close to hitting that wall, guys. That would not be good. That would not have been epic.
So, do you want to get in on the racing action? Then put your racing team together and enter the race. You can be the Ridge City Racer too.
Hey, the staff? I actually have a question. If I happen to have a few minutes at the end of my, schedule, like at the end of the run, if I happen to have a few minutes, do you mind if I show off one of, just a car?
Wow, great cornering.
If you can't, then, we can move on. But I think it would be cool, because, you're not going to see any of the dual racing cars. And they are really cool. Is there an answer? Because I would like to show off at least one more aspect of the game when it's finished. That is if I don't restart, because if I restart I would have probably used up my allotted time. Which that would not be epic. No response. That sounds like me when I'm trying to talk to my friend on Skype. I have to send a message and I wait an hour for a response. Like, man, waiting sucks, doesn't it? Like, man, I remember, like, waiting 3 hours to get into this run. Like, waiting 3 hours to actually begin my run. And so I go and do a couple things, I come back, it's 12 minutes later. Okay, that actually didn't happen to me. I'm gonna be honest, I woke up 30 minutes before my, my run. Jeez, I did not want to hit that wall. There was so much hype in that chat, I couldn't resist reading it.
Finish line is just up ahead. It's the final stretch.
Yeah, I woke up 30 minutes before, my run.
Finish! There goes the winner. What
Like,
an incredible race!
I'm the dude doing a speedrun in just like night clothes right now. Thank goodness the stream is looking pretty good. It doesn't look like it's dropping too many frames or anything. The last thing I want is an unenjoyable experience.
2, 1, go!
Oh, sound glitch might.
And they're off. The cars are streaming past the starting line. 3
Oh
laps
man,
to go.
just slipstream past these cars.
Oh, that's gonna
Look
be
at that,
hard.
already seventh place. Oh no, I just got shoved into the wall. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that does. At least that car was behind me to give me a boost. My stream looks good. One day what I hope to do is use my laptop as the streaming device, because currently I'm playing the game and using the same CPU to stream this game, and the settings are not very high. Like right now I'm using a 2000 bit rate at 720p. It is not that good.
Check him out. Come on. That was tight.
Stream is Gucci.
2 laps to go.
Did I just get a message on Twitch? Man, I can't read that, man. I'm running.
Whoa, that's simply good steering.
I can't read that, dude. Oh yeah, I also didn't have breakfast, so by the time this run ends, I'm probably going to be really starving.
Whoa, that's some wicked steering. Thanks for tuning in to Ridge City Event. We're proud to bring you this exciting
Don't text and drive, kids.
Okay, now stay with us for more racing thrills.
I said that at the beginning of the stream, but yeah, please don't text and drive. I've seen people do that, and it makes me sad.
It's the final lap.
Like in real life, I would say, from what I've heard, I would be a safe driver. I'm a person to always use my blinker. I make complete stops. Like, I don't do those rolling stops that a lot of people do. I always try to be as safe as I can. And I really would advise for all of you to do the same.
Whoa, that's some wicked steering.
Dad. Hey, come on, kids. Let me tell you an old war story. Papa squat next to Papa.
Finish line is just up ahead. It's the final stretch.
Pokemon Go. More like Pokemon Go to sleep.
There goes the winner. What an incredible race.
Okay, reading the message I got, yeah, that time is indeed beatable.
The race is about 3.
All times are beatable in that game. Or in this game.
Go! And they're off. The cars are streaming past the starting line. 3 laps to go.
Thank you, CPU, for doing that. Making the game just a little bit slower, a few seconds at a time. Oh yeah, for the dude that did message me about the time attack, a vehicle I would suggest using if you want to beat the time is using the Denver Spectra, because the thing about the Denver Spectra is that even though it has one of the lower top speeds, it has the best acceleration, and because of that, your average speed across all sectors will be higher than that of, say, the Angeles or the Chronometer. It's a really hard car to control, like so hard that I can't even control it, but I do know it is definitely a viable car. If there was time trial, I would be using that car.
Whoa, that's some wicked steering.
Okay, I missed what happened. I don't know what I'm doing, but I forgot what I said, but what's with the lulls? Did I say something funny? I probably didn't, I didn't catch myself. Made the turn. Well, have a good time. I feel bad for lapping that car. It's just because I'm too fast. This is speedrun. Go fast. Gotta go fast.
Just up ahead. It's the final stretch.
Oh yeah, this Grand Prix, it is about staying ahead of the time limit, if you notice on the left side of the screen. But because we're going super fast, I just completely ignore it. Like, you can just ignore it even in hard mode. Like, I completely forget that it's there. The only way to, like, to lose the race due to the time limit is if you're using a slow car or just completely retarded. Which is probably me sometimes. Only when the extra chromosome activates. Okay, now you guys are seeing the final race of the Tornado Grand Prix, and that is the, in this track we're on is a new one, Greenfield, which is just basically a branch of Sunny Beach, another classic in the Ridge Racer series. Another good staple. Too bad in the newer games, they really stopped using it. Which is really weird. It's a classic course, man. That's like having a Call of Duty without M16. Well, not all games need M16, but still. If you want to do a modern game, you gotta have it.
The winner of this Grand Prix will be determined in this final race. So who's gonna have the last lap? Well, we'll find out the answer to this question in a few minutes.
See that time? See the time limit? 18 seconds? I don't think so.
Wow, great cornering.
Oh jeez, what's going on? What's going on in the chat? There's so much hype. What's someone do? That's some hype right there. I really appreciate that hype.
Wow, great cornering. Thanks for tuning in to Ridge City FM. We're proud to bring you this exciting race today. Okay, now stay with us for more racing thrills.
I would like to point out the amazing draw distance in this game. Let's see if it works when I turn around this corner. Yeah, see, the villains are popping in. Shoutouts to amazing draw distance. PS2 graphics. Very wonderful graphics. Man, it's incredible how our technology has come a long way. Like, you really have a good appreciation for, like, how, like, the graphics are. I don't know what I'm saying. Even, like, with that draw distance, the game's graphics are still very impressive for its time. Like, I'm still impressed with how good the graphics are in this game. Yeah, like, an interesting thing with the graphics is that when you're in a different environment, like, say this tunnel... Oh, geez, don't... Thank you, game. Thank you. Thank you, turn. Yeah, the interesting thing about the graphics in this game is that, like, going through that tunnel I just went through, to get the effect that it looks like lights are reflecting across the car, what the game does is that when you enter that area, it changes the texture to make it look like that's what's happening. Like, that's actually pretty damn cool. Like, having textures change mid-race. I don't know any a lot of other games that do that, but still, that's pretty cool. Hey yo, staff, I still see the game listed as Metroid Prime. Just want to point that out. Okay, that's Tornado Grand Prix. Now we're going to be moving on to the Duke Grand Prix. And thankfully we don't have to worry about getting first in every single race. But this time, we're going to be racing all of the 4 court... No! Do not want to enter that one. We're going to be racing all 4 races in reverse. Which, some tracks it's definitely easier, but 2 of the tracks in this are actually a bit harder, particularly at the start, because it's a narrow road. And there's like a turn immediately after. Not this course, but for like Sunny Beach.
And they're off. The cars are streaming past the starting line. 3 laps to go.
And you guys already know I don't like this course very much, particularly at that one turn. Well, the thing is, in reverse, it gets worse. Pun intended. Or not, it's not exactly a pun, but a good play on words. Because at least in the regular version, I had the chance to go forward, but now it's easy to mess up that turn. And this one as well. There are many times where I've hit the wall, like during that chicane. Man, can you please move out of the way? Please move out of the way, man. Thank you. Blue flag. Someone call blue flag on this dude. The R4 graphics? The R4 graphics, for the time, they were actually pretty good.
2 laps to go.
Jeez. Slipstream. Just getting one behind. This is probably the only turn in the game where you would have to use the brakes. Like, there are 2 ways to initiate a drift in this game. Is either letting go of the gas or pressing the brake. Most players would do brakes, and during ILs I would definitely do it because you don't have to let go of the gas. But because of how this car behaves, like the grip types, you have to let go of the gas, because if you just tap the brakes, yeah, you'll start a drift, but you'll immediately back out because you're using the gas. Oh, that dude gets a penalty. Yeah, like I like lap him, and he's just like going into the pits. Unfortunately, there are no pits in this game. Oh jeez. Oh jeez, that's so close. In that wall, yeah. Well, I got those turns perfectly fine, except that. I'm a genius. Man, to look back on my life, I have a college degree, and I'm sitting here playing a video game in front of all you people, but it's for a good cause, man. Like, I'm happy that I get to do this. Like, I'm happy I get to, like, let this game, I'm happy that this game's getting some love, And I'm also happy that the money and stuff going towards is going towards a good cause. Like you guys, I really appreciate all of y'all, the 100 people that are watching this.
Three, two, one.
Guys.
Okay, here's...
Come on, Twitch. Come on. Come on, Twitch. I want to see my stream. Okay, there's my stream. Hey, can you guys hear me? Just making sure. Can you guys hear me? Come on, chat. I need your feedback. Come on. Come on now. Come on. Come on, guys. I need your feedback. I need your feedback. Come on. Oh, I'm seeing that feedback. Okay, guys. Okay, so we did meet the donation incentive, which was to, for a team name, and I chose, and you guys are going to be getting Franker-Z as your team name. Oops, that's not how I'm supposed to do it. Hard mode, we gotta make sure that is, because that is my category. Hold on. There you go, boys. There's your team name. If you guys want to screenshot it now, go ahead and screenshot it. This is probably the only time you're going to see this name. Okay, moving on. Save game data? We're not going to be saving game data. Okay. Hello, guys. No, I should introduce myself. My name's Qaotik, and and you're going to be seeing me complete hard mode all Grand Prix in this game. And before I start, I would like to ruin your childhood. Take a look at these graphics really good. Take it in. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just ruined y'all's childhood. Enjoy those graphics. I will explain that here in a moment. Hey guys, be prepared to start the time, okay? Okay guys, starting countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. Yeah, my name's Qaotik, and you guys are going to be witnessing hard mode all Grand Prix. I'm the creator of this category, and I also happen to own the world records for each IL in this game. So what you're going to be, for each, there's a total of 6 Grand Prix in this game, each of which are about 4 races long. And with each Grand Prix, there's always going to be something a little different. Like for the sake of this Grand Prix, what's going to be happening is I'm sorry, I have to concentrate. For this Grand Prix, we're just going to be driving the most basic vehicles, which is supposed to be just vehicles. Later on, we'll be getting a more powerful variant of the vehicle we're already driving. Oh yeah, please ignore the white shadows. You know what, well, I should point that out. So the reason why I changed the graphics to be worse is because it's clear that I'm running the PCSX2 emulator. And the reason why I'm using emulator is because, number one, I don't have a PS2. It's more convenient for me to use PC, so hashtag PC Master Race. And secondly, there is no benefit to using an emulator for this game. If anything, the game will actually be slower. And not only that, I get to use a better controller. because the DualShock 2 controllers are not that good, to be honest. They were good for the time, but DualShock 4, that's where it's at. It's really tasty. So, to clarify what car I'm using, there are a total of at least 7 cars in this game, and the car I'm using is the Himmel EO. What makes this car, the reason why I'm using this car is that, it has the highest speed and acceleration, but at the cost of overall inferior handling. Like, part of the handling is that not only does it not go through turns very well, but when you drift, unlike most drift games, all you have to do is release the gas and then press back on the accelerator in order to do a drift. And the two different drift types in this game are drift and grip. Drift, what happens is that you're allowed to main. Yeah, you did hear Scamco. I refer to them to as that because they did two pretty interesting cash grabs. Like they did Driftopia. Damn it, I had that. No, nothing else. No. Yeah, they did 2 games. There was a free-to-play PC version of Unbounded, which was unlike Unbounded. It was more like I think they were referred to as the Shinobi races, where it's like there's no fragging of other racers or like destruction. It's just like driving. It was basically that for the PC, except it was free to play, and they really asked money of you. And then there's the most recent Apple game, which is just does a disservice to the series as a whole. I mean, it's worse than Call of Duty supply drops. I mean, I'd rather buy a supply drop from Call of Duty than to spend money on those games. On those Namco games. It really, I mean, that should probably say a lot. Yeah, 11 seconds ahead. Wasn't that fast, boys?
Finish line is just up ahead. It's the final stretch. Finish! There goes the winner. What an incredible race!
Okay, we're doing the last race of Duke Grand Prix, and then we're moving on to Timer, which will actually be a good relaxation race before the Maximum Grand Prix, because that I really need to focus on. Because it is the hardest Grand Prix in the game. And I have indeed like screwed up races on that. Like I practiced before and I should be good, but it would be a good thing to actually focus on that. Oh man, look at that. It didn't even trade paint. Look at that. I want to reach first place. Reach first place in 20 seconds. Look at this. Look at this. I did not reach first place in 20 seconds. Never mind. Might be. Yo, man, get on point. We're doing weekend slipstream. I mean, it makes Gran Turismo 4's drafting look fucking balanced. I should probably excuse my language. I'm trying not to do it a lot. It's allowed, but come on, I'm gonna be a little friendly. I love y'all's hype. Like, that really makes me happy to see all that hype in the chat. Another thing, you gotta appreciate the soundtrack in this game. It's actually pretty good. There's no known artists or anything because this was a game made in Japan, so of course they're going to be using Japanese artists that specifically made music for this game. But you have to admit, it's actually pretty good. The song playing right now, Euphoria by Coda, by Solid State Coda, it's really good. Yeah, I'm not gonna let this guy. Okay, moving on to Tyrant Grand Prix. The good thing is, this is the oval track I was talking about, like, early on in the run. And then it's just one race around an oval in the oval engine.
Okay, here's Grand Prix.
And it'll be a really good way to sort of chill out before before maximum. Yeah, we're going to be going into Turbo Ultra Boost mode, because we're now using the oval engine. And basically, this race, just slipstream people. That's pretty much this entire game. Just get behind people and slingshot yourself to first place.
The winner of this Grand Prix will be determined in this.
Let's see if I can reach first place before lap 5. I probably won't now. But we can still try. Yeah, this is a 10-lap race, which is about 5 minutes. There's just enough. I really gotta pay attention. That's embarrassing. This is a normal man. Like, come on. Yeah, excuse me. Let me have some of that slipstream. I have good time. Oh no, do not drift. That is not the thing that is not good.
Check him out. Come on.
Do not drift, please. Thank you. Oh, we're about to reach first place. Oh, can I get before lap 5? Can I get before lap 5? I made it before lap 5. It's just smooth sailing from here. Okay, thanks for the message, Judah. I'll probably read that during the loading screens. Oh man, Lordmau5, that's some real hype right there. Did I just seriously... Did my laptop just seriously open up the message by itself? I think the computers have now become sentient. We've reached the singularity rather quickly. I've got some supernatural shit again. Which card should I use for standard mode? Oh, do not hit the wall. Okay. Which car should I use for standard mode on Oval Chop to beat the single lap record? For for standard. For standard, you want top speed. Since it's an oval, you want top speed. Just go with the Himmel EO, which is like the last car. Like the car at the very end. Like the one I'm using. For other tracks, for standard, you would want to use the Solar. Because the Solar actually uses the drift type, and its speed is very similar. And since there's no cars to worry about, you'll most likely stay at the top speed. And you'll lose speed, not very often. Or not as much, I should say. Not often. You're going to be losing speed during drifts, but not as much as, say, a grip car like the EO. Oh, hey, we're about to lap a car. Oh, I got 2 laps to go. Oh, man. I'm just trying to sing along to the song. I believe the song is actually a remix of another song within this game called Daredevil. Like more of a... What would you call that song? Not progressive, more... Would it be trance? I don't know what to call it. What the... I'm pretty confident this is a remix of another song, and that original song is actually... The original song is like a rock. Okay, that's the end of Tyrant Grand Prix. Just one race, 5 minutes. Now we're going to move on to the final Grand Prix in the game. That is Maximum Grand Prix. And yeah, I said before, this is one I actually need to focus a little bit on, because the AI actually gets harder. It's now 5 laps, and I have to win first place in each of those races.
Okay, you've got a new engine.
So I'm not going to fail you guys. I am going to win each of those races first try.
From the pack and claim first place.
Come on, last 4 races. Last 4.
The race is about 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, the exclusive Grand Prix, known as Maximum Grand Prix. Hard mode exclusive. Cannot find it in the other difficulties. If I were to play on easy and normal, the game would have ended there. But because I want to be entertaining and I want to show off the game, we're doing this on hard mode. If you were a kid and you managed to get up to here, you probably would have thrown your controller in a fit of rage trying to beat this.
That was tight. We've got the perfect weather conditions for a Grand Prix today.
I mean, when I was a kid, just being as a kid playing Midnight Club 2, playing in the Paris world, I was like, I remember there was like one, character you had to be, and she was like a lady, and like, the track that they chose or made was like very annoying. Like, I was, like, doing that race, I was pretty, I was like about as salty as Gandhi's flip-flop. And to this day, I can still get, pretty, heated. I just realized I told people do not bother me until 11:15. I realized the run's going to end at around 10 something. Oh, I am stupid. I'm a genius. I'll have to tell him, yeah, I'm done now. That's not good.
Wow, great cornering! Many drivers are competing in various races throughout Ridge City. Whether they're seasoned pros or rookies, their goal is the same. It's to win the race. Win or lose, they all deserve our support.
I don't know, I tried singing them all.
2 laps to go.
No, I'm going to do a little song. It's just a very simple song that my brother came up with. It goes bleep, bloop, bleep, blurg, bleep, that bloop, that bleep, blurg. And it just ends there. That's not the song.
Wow, great cornering!
Yeah, I'm sorry again for being quiet. If you guys have anything to ask, then just go ahead and ask me. Like, I could at least try to answer it.
Final lap. Wow, great cornering! Wow, great cornering!
And 17 seconds ahead, and we're about to complete the first race.
Ahead, it's the final
The first of three.
stretch.
Hey, thank you, CPU. Yeah, making me go slow, man. This is
There goes the winner! What an incredible race!
Space Invasion, Minigame Revolution. I never played Revolution. I've only seen gameplay of it. Is there a giant enemy crab in this game? No, but in the sequel. So what happens in the sequel is that there were no crabs in the game, and then they invaded the game. And what happened is that they grew large and they killed everybody.
1, go!
The end. I'm just kidding.
And they're off. The cars are streaming past the
that doesn't happen.
5 laps to go. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, the only Ridge Racers I played were Ridge Racer 5, Ridge Racer DS, which is basically just Ridge Racer 64, Ridge Racer 6, and then Ridge Racer 7. And of course I did Unbounded.
We've got the perfect weather conditions for our Grand Prix today.
I see something about skins and clothes. I have to read that when I'm on the straight. If you're talking about this game, from what I skimmed over, you can actually change the color of your car in this game in the skin. Like to a different skin. Oh, you're talking about the other game, never mind. Yeah, in this game you can change your color and the color scheme a little bit. Like you have 3 different patterns to choose from for each car. You can change the color of the rims, not to whatever color, like you have like that orange color on that car, or like a really, really like dark blue. And that's about it. But for the actual paint itself, yeah, you can customize the color. Like, you can do like a really hot pink, or just like an obsidian black. Jeez, this one car. This one car's been doing this like for the entire run. Come on, man. Anybody want to get in my way? I know you're on the cover of this game, but no, get out of here. I'm winning this. You want to have it that way? Fine. Oh, geez, now I can really start feeling the hunger hit me. As game different from the conspirators' decision with handling better. That's not exactly a question I can easily answer. It's not. Well, that really depends. Like, I can't say handling's better because Ridge Racer. Its handling is not meant to like be to compete with that of like Need for Speed. It's meant to be its own like sort of arcade sort of style game like you would find in an arcade. Like where Need for Speed is designed to be like just a friendly game that you could like play on a home console. Because I mean, Ridge Racer started off as an arcade game, and Ridge Racer 5 is actually a port of the arcade version, just with like extra stuff, and actually better. So I can't really say the one's better. It really depends on your tastes. Like personally, I like both the Ridge Racer series and Need for Speed. And based with like the Need for Speed, it's like, it's not, I can't say. Like they're both unrealistic handling, but even though they're unrealistic, it goes to show that a game can be unrealistic and still be fun. Like you don't need exactly graphics or realistic gameplay to have a really good time. And these games achieve both of that. The thing I will say, however, is that Ridge Racer, superior graphics. I mean, Ridge Racer 7, I believe, was the first Ridge Racer game to run not only at 60 FPS, but also at 1080p. The graphics in Ridge Racer 7 were slightly worse than that of Ridge Racer 6, but it was able to run at a smooth 60 frames and 1080p because of it. Because in Ridge Racer 6, it ran at 720p, but the textures were better and there was a lot more going on. Like one of the the chronology in that game, if you use triple nitrous, it will actually cause you to drop frames. Porsche Unleashed, oh man, that's probably one of my first Need for Speed games as well, specifically for the PC. I'm disappointed that's different on console. Like, I never tried the console version, but the PC version, superior. Just hands down superior. The Underground, yeah, the drift mode in Underground was really fun. My favorite, my favorite Need for Speed games would either be Most Wanted or Underground 2 or 1. Those are really good ones. Porsche Unleashed for PC as well, yeah, but... Yeah. I played the most recent Need for Speed, like 2015. It tried to go back to that Underground roots, but it sort of failed. Like, part of the reason was because of that online-only sort of deal. I mean, I didn't mind for the most part, but sometimes when you needed to pause, it was kind of just annoying. Some customization on the cars, like the Ferraris, there was like virtually no customization whatsoever. The drifting was like inconsistent. Like some moments you would feel like you had a hand, like you had a grip on it, like you knew, like, oh, I feel like I can drift now. And then other times, just like, yeah, I can't drift. I hope they resolve that with Payback. And apparently Payback is actually introducing, bringing back, Underglow, which is something I've been asking for since Underground 2. Like, jeez, like, they needed to bring that back.
Finish line is just up ahead. It's the final stretch. Finish! There goes the winner. What an incredible race!
I got a message. Hey, I would suggest to you, for the times, probably practice a little bit more because it is indeed a bit hard. Like with the drifting in this game, you can't just be like drifting like at a pretty steep angle. You want to be as shallow as possible and as close to like the apex as you can. Like you really gotta take those turns really well. Like it's actually possible. This is actually a challenge like I tried imposing on myself, and that is to beat the Angelus on a hard mode with the standard Slayer, which is actually really slow. And theoretically, it is indeed possible, and I believe if you were to search on YouTube, you probably could find it. I think there is a video of it on YouTube. But it's really hard. Like, I believe you would have to use, like, a different controller than, say, like, the DualShock 2, because the handling of the thumbsticks is inferior to, like, some of the other controllers out there. Oh, this is the third to the last race. We're approaching the end. Next will be the last race, and of course it'll be my least favorite track above the city. At least it's 5 laps, so it's very generous. Drifting an oval track. Oh, you're talking about the oval track. I'm sorry. Use the. I'm thinking about others. I'm thinking about other tracks. I'm sorry. Use the Himmel, you know, for the oval. It has the highest top speed, and it's an oval. You're not going to be drifting. Like you have to try a bit harder. What really gets me is the final turn before you hit the straight, because it's not exactly like the first turn that you take where like it's even throughout, because at the beginning of the I believe it would be, damn it, I just hit that. Don't worry, I still got 3 laps. Oh yeah, it's like not exactly even. Like you would have to, for faster cars you would definitely have to brake, because that's what I have to do. Come on, I gotta get first. I do not want to restart. Because, interestingly, you only get 3 restarts in this game per race. And if you use all of them, well, yeah, fail. Yeah, I want to stop talking a little bit so I can focus. Okay, approaching first place again. Place now, I think.
Wow, great cornering.
There's less speed one train at the Himmel. That's just a part of the car's handling property. It has the highest top speed and acceleration in the standard class. It's, oh my gosh, that's the last lap. I almost just dropped the controller. Gee, that would not have been good.
Wow, great cornering.
So much speed. Yeah, It should be the EO. I'm confident it's the best part. It just takes a lot of practice because the handling in this game is indeed, like for me especially, like it's been a challenge.
Wow, great cornering.
Like even right now, like my record, I'm the only one that runs this, and my record, you know, is like really unoptimized.
It's the final stretch.
Oh, thank goodness I won that. Okay, we're moving on to the final race. So staff, be prepared to hit time when when I cross the finish line on this last course. On the 5th lap, that'll be time, and I'll tell you guys. All right, last race, boys.
3, 2, 1, go!
Chase view. That made personal preference. As a kid, I really enjoyed the chase view, but I get a really nice view in first person, so I usually stick to the bumper view. Yeah, that's fine. People have different preferences. Like in the other Ridge Racer series, I will be using like I will use third person or chase view. Man, I'm used to playing FPS games. I'm using the incorrect terminology. Well, I'm not thinking, guys. If you guys want a really good racing game, it's not a Ridge Racer game, but I really recommend, if you guys have PC, in this game I believe it's coming to consoles later, but I recommend finding a game called Redout. That game is very fantastic. It's an indie racing game. It's like, it takes like inspiration from like the F-Zero series and Wipeout and put them together, and it's really good. I mean, it is a phenomenal game, and I really recommend giving that game a try. Fast pin car and time attack. The Pinky, the like a ghost from like Pac-Man, that's actually a slower car. You would actually be using like some like the Spectra, the Denver Spectra, because the ghost cars actually have like really low top speed. They're easy to use except Clyde, because Clyde's like pretty much impossible. But yeah, you wouldn't be using those vehicles in time trial. You would be using like the other stuff. Oh, jeez. The game put me in a drift. I don't know why. It didn't. Come on, dude. Come on. Is this gonna be a PB? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think after hitting that. Come on. Come on.
There are many race events going on in Bridge City. Don't forget to check them all out and enjoy racing for
My
the
PB is
max.
139.27, if I'm correct. Just don't hit the wall. No. The Corvette, yeah, the Denver Spectra. Yeah, you would be using that for a time trial. It is definitely the best car for time trial. this run's coming to an end. I'm not on the last lap, but man, this definitely feels like a long time, and it's been really fun, especially talking to you, chat. I hope you guys have been enjoying the run. It might not be the most strat intensive, but it's indeed fun to at least show off this game, because this game really needs some love. Like, it's a really underrated game in the Ridge Racer series. I mean, it's the game before Namco started taking the game to that other formula with the nitrous and the like very lightweight drift physics. Okay, we're on the last lap. I'll tell you guys when to hit time. We're coming up time like here pretty soon.
Wow, great cornering.
Yeah, that's chill run. Yeah, that's the good thing about this game. You can just sort of like chill out a little bit, have a good amount of fun.
Wow, great cornering.
Okay, guys, be prepared to hit time. Time in now. Oh man. Man, what was the time? Oh man, I need to see what time is. (1:38:43). That's new world record by over 40 seconds. That is a new world record. Okay, since I finished and I still have about 7 minutes, do you mind if I show off a car or two? Do you really mind?
Congratulations. Okay.
Yeah, please tell me if it's alright to show off a car. Okay. Okay, guys, you want to see some of the awesome cars in this game?
Free run.
What?
Get a feel for your car or check out some track.
Oh wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, this is free run. No, I can't do free run. I have to do time attack for some reason. Oh yeah, this is the wrong account. Let me hop on to the other one real quick. Okay, you know what? Let's I'm going to treat you guys to really good graphics as well.
Time attack. It's only you against the clock.
Did I just hit? I hit Franker Z again. I am a genius. The other world records, the only ones you're gonna find are ILs, and they're on rollingstart.com. Okay, guys, you ready for some devil racing action? Probably my favorite car. Oh yeah, enjoy these awesome graphics. Enjoy them for now.
Here we go. Good luck. 3 laps to go.
I have to do that, it's Ridge Racer. fast. Jeez. Yeah, these are some amazing racing physics. Like, Forza can't even top this shit. Not Gran Turismo, not Forza, not Project Cars, not Assetto Corsa, none of those games. They cannot compete with these amazing physics. You thought Road Trip? Yeah, Konosumi? Yeah, those game physics? Yeah, they can't compete with this. Or I'm gonna at least try being serious with one of these laps. I'm sorry, that was really terrible. For some reason, when the car shifts gears during a turn, it'll like it messes with the handling for some reason. Are you guys paying F for respects? That's F for respects.
The finish line is just up ahead. It's the final stretch.
Ned? What am I watching? Oh yeah, I believe that's a Ned. Okay, you know what? Okay, so that's pretty much the game. Thank you guys for watching. Like, I really appreciate you guys coming in and watching the run. Like, this is actually really fun.